So this may look a little bit different than normal. We don't have a class up here, but this is one of the coolest things that I've experienced as an educator. So I was thinking about, all right, I got to plan a gathering. It's my turn. What am I going to do? And these two ladies came up and said, hey, can our class do a gathering? And I said, well, your class just had one not that long ago. Miss Snyder?
And Miss Snyder said, nah, we're good.
If you guys know, to plan a gathering takes some classroom time, right? So Miss Snyder, we can't ask one class to constantly do the gathering over and over again because it takes a lot of instructional time, and that's not fair. So we just kind of came up with the idea, since these two ladies asked me, well, no one says that you guys can't be leaders and step it up. Let's plan it together. So when I say plan it together, so again, we couldn't take that much instructional time. I think we took very little instructional time. So they came in, they sacrificed their time in the morning, and I think they came in some during recess. And I had to do some stuff over the weekend and yesterday. So we didn't have a ton of time to practice. So take it easy on critical feedback. Be gentle, be kind. Let's see how we do. All right? You ladies ready? All right, let's go.
Natural resources. What is the definition of natural resources, Mr. Peters?
I think a natural resource is something that is found outside that's not like anything that you would normally have inside your house. That's not really what it is. I think a natural resource is something outside and not in the, for example, like water or in a lake.
That's a perfect introduction. Now let's look at some examples and some of them. Definition and examples. According to Discovery Education, the definition of natural resources is resources that are obtained from the earth.
I'm doing a little coaching while we're doing this, because since we didn't have time to practice. Use your hands, use your hands.
Content. Natural resources are raw minerals that are necessary for our survival or make our lives better. Renewable resources never run out. Non-renewable resources take millions of years to produce. Some examples of natural resources are air, water, wood, oil, energy, natural gas, iron, and coal.
So the ladies are going to read a story to you. Several of you, as we came in, saw the book on the table and said, oh yeah, I've read that, I've heard that. So we're going to read it again. And when we read, I like to have a purpose for reading. I'm going to actually challenge you. We're going to give you two purposes for reading. The first purpose, we're going to talk about cause and effect. Okay? Cause is an event or an action that happens, and then the effect of the results. So we're going to give you the cause. It stopped raining in the village and resulted in a severe drought. We're going to ask you, what are the effects? What happened as a result of that drought? And the second purpose for reading, we want you to think about the inquiry learner profile behaviors. Okay, and we're going to list them up on the board afterwards. We want you to see if you can find any of those behaviors in the story. Okay, so we're looking for two things. Okay, the effects of the drought for the village and examples of the behaviors of the learner profile. Okay?
Boys have harnessed the way.
In a small village in Hawaii, where people had no money for lights, nightfall came quickly and hurried poor farmers to bed. But for William, the darkness was best for dreaming.
He dreamed of building things and taking them apart, like the trucks with bottle caps, wheels parked under his bed, and pieces of radios that he cracked open and wondered if I can hear the music then with band.
His grandpa's tales of magic also whispered in the pitch black of his room, which planes passed
fields, William scanned the maze rows for magical beings, then wondered as a truck rumbled past, how does its engines make it go? Pay attention where you throw that hoe, his father shouted. You'll cut off your foot.
For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun rose angry each morning and scourged through the fields, turning the maize into dust. Without food, Mawali began to starve.
Soon William's father gathered the children and said, from now on, we eat only one meal per day. Make it last. In the evenings, they sat around the lantern and ate their handful, watching hungry people pass like spirits along the road.
Money also disappeared within the rain. Penny, his father said, I'm sorry, you will have to drop out of school. Now William stood on the road and watched the lucky students pass, alone with the monster in his belly and the lump in his throat. For weeks he schooled under the mango tree, until he remembered the library down the road, a gift from the Americans.
He found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines move those big trucks and how radios pull their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine taller than the tallest tree with blades like a pin. A giant pinwheel or something? To catch magic? Slowly he built the sentence. Windmills can produce electricity and pump water.
He closed his eyes and saw a windmill outside his home, pulling electricity from the breeze and bringing light to the dark valley.
He saw the machine drawing cool water from the ground, sending it gushing through the thirsty fields, turning the maize tall and green. Even when the farmers' prayers for rain went unanswered, this windmill was more than a machine. It was a weapon to fight on.
Magisti Mafano, he whispered, I will build electric wind.
In the junkyard, pieces appeared like rusted treasures in the tall grass. A tractor fan, some pipes, and bearings and bolts that required every muscle to renew. Tonga, he shouted to the birds and spiders holding up his prize. But as William dragged his metal home, people called out, this boy is Masala. The crazy people play with trash.
After many weeks, William arranged his pieces in the dirt, a broken bicycle, rusted bottle caps, and a plastic pipe. Even a small generator that powered a headlight on a bike.
For 3 days he bolted, banged, and tinkered while chickens squawked and dogs barked. And neighbors shook their heads, saying, what's Misala doing now?
His cousin Jeffrey and his best friend Gilbert soon appeared. The woolly Bajendi, they greeted. Can we help with the electric wind? Grab your pangage and follow me, he said, and they took them into the forest together. They swung their sharp blades into the trunks of blue gum trees, then hammered them together to make the tower.
Standing atop, William shouted, bring it up, while the boys tugged. A crowd gathered below and gazed at the strange machine. That now leaned and wobbled like a clumsy giraffe. Some giggled, others teased, but William waited for the wind.
Like always it came. First a breeze, then a gusting gale. The tower swayed in blades, and then the blades spun around.
With sore hands, once slowed by hunger and darkness, William connected wires to a small bulb which flickered at first and surged as bright as the sun. Tonga, he shouted, I have made electric.
Which should be on a man yelled, well done, as the doubters clapped and cheered. William knew he had just begun. Light could not fill empty bellies. another windmill could soak the dry ground, creating food where once there was none. I guess the Mafano, electric wind, can feed my country, William thought.
And that was the strongest magic of all.
Cause and effect. It stopped raining in the village of Mawali and resulted in severe drought. What are the effects? Fist and fingers. Mason?
The effect was that, what was his name? William, because he skipped school, he realized he remembered that there was a library down the road, so he went to the library and he found a window book. And then he saw that it can make electricity, and so it generates power, so it can, and water, so it can water the crops and give away electricity with it.
Okay, so that's fantastic. You went a step, you went to the next step. Let's rewind. There's a piece in the middle. Is there a piece in the middle that we're missing? Right before what Kason says. Yeah, Kason, did you see that? Did you hear that part? That was right after the drought, and then your piece. All right, so for this one, we're going to try to go through quick. We're going to read these learner profile behaviors. Give us a thumbs up if you think that was somewhere in the story, okay? Somewhere in the story. Let's start with self-control. Was William prepared? No. It says come to class prepared, but was he prepared? Did he pay attention and resist distraction? I think of the one scene in the book where the father said he was distracted instead of working in the field. Remember, the father said, you're distracted by thinking about your curiosity. Stop being distracted or else you're going to chop your foot, right? So I don't know, he was distracted a little bit when he should have been focusing. Gets to work right away rather than procrastinating? Alistair, you're kind of doing this. What do you think?
Well, I think yes, like he didn't procrastinate on making the windmill, but he definitely didn't the farm work right away.
Okay, yeah. He remained calm even when criticized or provoked.
Yes.
Absolutely. They kept calling him crazy, and that didn't stop him. Allows others to speak without interrupting.
That wasn't really it.
Not really, no evidence of that, right, Landon? Is polite to peers and adults? With not really evidence. I mean, We're gonna talk about something in a minute that you'll see a lot of evidence of that, I think, in a different version of the story. He keeps his temper in check. We're gonna go to growth mindset now.
It's over frustrations and setbacks quickly.
Yeah.
Believes that he or she can grow and develop socially, emotionally, and academically through dedication and hard work. Reflects on actions and experiences.
What was some of his experiences that he had to learn from? You guys have something? What were his experiences that he learned from? Oh, sorry, you guys were talking. I thought you were talking about this. Jabari?
When he was reading the books in the library.
Yeah, and then even his experience of life, right? His village was in a drought.
Able to find solutions during conflict with others.
I don't know, did the book really talk about conflicts with others? Yeah, feelings of hunger of others, right?
Knows how, and then to include others.
Go ahead, Riley. Can you say that loud? Go ahead. Yeah.
Actively participates.
Yeah, he was pretty active, right?
And shows enthusiasm.
Gratitude.